RCRV project is a university, industry, and National Science Foundation cooperative effort to construct and bring into operation 3 new ships for ocean science in the U.S., specifically targeting research in the coastal ocean. The first vessel under construction is the RV Taani, which will operate on the West Coast, and it will be operated by Oregon State University. It's certain that it will be involved in observing and collecting data about change within what we call the California current system, looking at the changes of circulation associated with global warming and changes in the sea level and ocean environment. Taani will also be involved in activities like taking long cores of seafloor sediment that can give us climate records going back tens of thousands of years. It'll be involved in putting down instruments for monitoring earthquakes. And it will certainly be involved in experimentation and observations to understand how the ocean is responding to additional heat, increases in carbon dioxide, plastic pollution, all the things that are impacting the coastal ocean today and will tomorrow. There's been challenges along the way during the main construction phase. Hurricane Ida went right over Houma, Louisiana, where we are today.
The shipyard took a direct hit from the hurricane. All 3 ships were under construction at the time. What you see here, we only had the front third of the vessel was put together. Equipment that was stored in the warehouses had to be inspected and in some cases replaced. It took almost 6 months for the shipyard to get back to the manning level it was at when the hurricane hit. It created challenges for the entire area. Because of the housing issues, lost a lot of skilled labor. I mean, we're still feeling those effects today. On a personal level, it has been a significant challenge to be down here this long, but it's also extremely rewarding when you think about all of the issues and events. I'm a Detroit Lions fan. I like to quote Dan Campbell, and it takes grit to build a ship. It's one of the hardest things you could ever do, and with the complexity of modern vessels, it's become even harder. So the day I see the Taani sail on its way to Oregon will probably be next to the birth of my children and grandchildren. Is probably one of the happiest days of my life.
These kinds of challenges have really brought our team together and made us more determined to get the vessels into operation and doing science for our community.
The first vessel is on the water. It's the RV Taani, and that's going to Oregon State University. The second boat is the Narragansett Dawn, and that is going over to University of Rhode Island and the East Coast Consortium. And then the third vessel is the Gilbert R, which is going to be split between both LumCon and University of Southern Mississippi. So while the first vessel is launched on the water already, the second and third vessel are right here behind me. And we're going to take a look at the sonar systems as well as other things that make it a really cool and highly technical oceanographic research vessel. This is what we call the foot right here. So this is what all the sonars are going to be mounted to. We have 2 different ADCPs, which are acoustic Doppler current profilers. So that can measure the currents not just at the surface of the ocean, but at different levels mid-water, in what direction and how fast the water is moving. And then this whole foot is going to be bolted onto the main centerboard carriage itself. This is a main part of the propulsion system, propellers that integrate with the dynamic positioning system, or the DP system. So it makes the maneuverability of the RCRVs very flexible, in addition to the 2 different bow thrusters in the front of the ship. This is the main aft working deck, where a lot of the deployment and recovery of oceanographic instrumentation happens. The people that helped design this really had the scientists in mind. They'll end up being a stern A-frame that is welded into place. The special thing about ours is it's not just a straight up A-frame. It is a double articulating one. So you'll be able to kneel it down on the aft deck here and swap out blocks while you're at sea. We are here in the wet lab. This is where a lot of the scientists will process their water sample and collections. Over here will be where the fume hood is at. We'll also have a sink where you can access the Science seawater system. We'll have a millicube DI ultra pure water system, as well as a number of lab benches. So it's a really dynamic lab space. So when scientists come on board, they can configure it to however they want. One of the really neat things about the RCRV is we have what's called a data present system. We'll have a server here on the ship and then one on shore, so that scientists on shore can get real-time data from both the science seawater system, a lot of the meteorological equipment. So it really allows people on shore to have more of interaction with the scientists at sea. And then you can also use it for education outreach. So scientists and educators and students in the classroom can utilize this data as well. So one of the main pieces of equipment for oceanographic research vessels is the CTD package, so conductivity, temperature, depth, and it will be stored here in the wet lab, and it'll be on a track, so you can bring it out onto the main deck here.
This is called the Launch and Recovery System, or LARS, and this is a device that can then lift that off the deck and put it over the side. It's hands-free, and it's really one of the new innovations on the vessel. Each of the regional class research vessels will operate in the U.S. academic fleet for at least 40 years. So the next generation is going to have that opportunity through these vessels, and all the technology that they offer will certainly excite that generation and lead them in new directions that we weren't able to go before.